Okay. Yeah, let's see how it goes. What a joke YouTube is now. Um, yeah, and I'm going to talk about it. And it's going to be a bit of a rant. I've been on YouTube. Is it 9 years now? Well, this channel is younger, but actually my powerlifting channel, my powerlifting vlog is really old. But my main channel is about 9 years. So this channel here is younger. YouTube is such a joke now. It just keeps getting worse. And it's like if you don't have integrity and if you don't have principles, I think YouTube is absolutely, go make a YouTube channel. That's the place for you. But if you do have integrity and if you have some standards, if you have some principles, YouTube is becoming just a bit of a joke, to be honest with you. Um, because the quality of your work doesn't matter anymore. And I will say that with confidence because that's my experience, and that is the experience of many, many other YouTubers. Have you noticed that those real, authentic, good channels are quitting? I mean, the guys and girls are quitting. They don't want to do this anymore. And then you have, of course, very big channels, and I have a few things to say about that have been quitting, and it was such a mystery, and they came up with all these fucking nonsensical, dishonest reasons, and I'll talk about that in a few seconds. Just let me say hello to the good people here. Hi there, KP Heathen, Jason, Tom, Arc Landscape. Actually, this time I have allowed anyone to join the chat. Usually you have to be a subscriber to do that. But this is just, let's see what happens. YouTube will probably hide this live stream as they usually do, but maybe someone out there will discover this channel and they don't want to subscribe because it's like almost impossible to get people to subscribe now. I could go out and pick up a rock in my garden, and it's easier to get that rock to subscribe to one of my channels than it is to get a real human being to subscribe. Hi there, Linda. Good to see you. So, yeah, let's jump straight into it. These big YouTubers, I won't mention names, but outdoors and just general stuff, and millions upon millions of viewers, and it was such a big mystery, and they would say things like, oh, I'm so tired and this and that, and that's why I'm quitting. That's what they said. That's what they're saying. Here's what I think. I think that most of those channels have been bought by big corporations. Did you know that these big channels, many of them, they are not owned anymore by the video creator? They're not. And I think this is especially bad when you talk about those channels with a political or religious view, because then at that point they're just basically just pushing an agenda, and I don't want to mention names. I really can't, because I don't want to be sued, and most of these, I guess, are American channels, and that's what Americans like to do. They like to sue other people. Um, at least that's what it's like in the movies. Um, so they will act as a gateway to, typically evangelism in the USA. It's fucking sick over there, and certain political views to the left or to the right. If they're sitting there, if it's a big channel, they have a nice studio, and they're sitting there spewing out the same very left-leaning or right-leaning agenda day after day, that I'm willing to bet that channel is has been bought. It's pushing a certain agenda. So why are these people just quitting? If you have 20 million subscribers and you're getting millions upon millions on every single fucking video, and I'm cursing a lot this morning, that's just how it's going to be. Why do you quit? And they say, oh, it's my family. Oh, my kids get recognized in the street and so on. No, no. Stop lying. Stop lying. That's not why. These people, I believe, they quit because the corporation that own them have decided to go no further with that channel. They have decided to go no further with that channel, and then the video creator knows that, oh, I don't get the backing. I don't get these corporations, they buy places, views, not view. They don't buy views, but they buy a certain. They serve. What's the word when you bypass the algorithm? That's what I think. That's what I think, and that costs money, and you need a corporation to do that. And when the corporation is saying, "Oh, we have we have done what we want to do with your channel, goodbye," then the video creator will say, "Oh, I'm so stressed out, and it's just oh, my family, and so I'm quitting." These people are made lying a profession almost. So the other main thing with YouTube now, and the reason why I'm calling it a joke at this point, is the AI, artificial intelligence. AI is been, I mean, it's okay. So my main channel, last half year, or 5 months, I've been doing only Viking Age videos, and I did that. I made that choice because one thing we do know about YouTube now is that you have to be specific to your niche. And also, I was getting sick and tired of commenting on current society, and I don't find current society very interesting, to be honest with you. It's 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 not so interesting because it's so, everything is so obvious, and we live in an epidemic of stupidity and a celebration of ignorance. And I don't find that intellectually interesting. And so I niched down, as they say, and I'm very happy with making Viking contents. But when I make a video, and the last two videos have not gotten the views at all, and I get like 1% of my subscriber base, less than 1% watching, you know that YouTube is fucking with your channel, right? And at this point, the way YouTube has been set up now, I will say, if people have asked me, and I get a lot of messages and so on, where the people are wondering, should I start a YouTube channel? Now I will say no. I would not do that. It's a waste of time. I'm sorry to say that. These, I don't know, but maybe these channels, vidIQ, TubeBuddy, and channels like that. While there is some good advice there, they are also in the business of selling a dream. And these channels, they are about how to do YouTube. And and they are selling a dream. But it's laughable how they are now saying things. YouTube is in easy mode now, and how it's not. So, and the other thing, obviously, is AI, and YouTube is pushing AI like crazy. It directly hurts my historical content on my main channel. And it hurts my main channel because I will not use AI. Now, why am I not using AI? Why will I not use AI? I will answer that. First of all, because it's destroying my business. No, it's not destroying my business, luckily, not yet. But it's destroying the publishing business. It's destroying the publishing business. So it's a matter of principle for me as a novelist. YouTube is not my job. It never was my job. I'm a historical novelist and a novelist, but I'm in the middle of a big project now, Viking Age historical novels. So I'm a historical novelist, and I'm seeing how the publishing business is embracing AI. Of course they do, because with AI they don't have to deal with the authors anymore, or they can deal with authors who use AI to write their books. That's happening already, and those authors in quote unquote, as they say, they can produce 4 novels in a year, because they just use AI to write a book and then they edit it. It's crazy how fast this has degenerated. The other reason, so it's a matter of principle. The other reason is that it's plain wrong, like wrong in factually wrong. It's factually wrong. And I fucking hate seeing these thumbnails with some dude, I'm using that word now, dude on the thumbnail looking at you. I do that too. I look at you in the thumbnail. To establish a connection, but they have replaced the background, which is a studio like this, just they're just sitting in a basement. Fucking hell, what is this nonsense? And they have put an AI generated image behind them, and then I never click on shit like that. Excuse my language, but it's like the cursor. If you let the cursor hover above on the thumbnail, it will start playing without sound, and then you see that, oh, that's just an image on the thumbnail to get people to click, but there's just going to be someone sitting there talking like I do now, and with these videos, these live streams, I don't even bother making a thumbnail, because I know that this channel has been frozen for years. That's how it's going to remain. But that, it's okay. I don't care anymore. But it's like so dishonest. And also, if you know a little bit of history, and honestly, I do, you can point at so many errors in that image. I saw one thumbnail the other day. It was one of these Hollywood Vikings, and they had actually put the AI image in front of, I think, was that one of the recreated Viking huts on Greenland, if I remember correctly? And then they had put one of those Hollywood Vikings, I call them. They have like big muscles, and they have, it's very practical, isn't it, when you live in Greenland, to chop the arms off of your vest or your jacket, so you have a vest to show off your big biceps and your tattooed arms. Vikings didn't look like that. And the shaved head, side of the head, it's like, it's it's so ridiculous. You know, the whole village would have been laughing at a guy like that. You know, so. But it's that's what corporate tube likes. They like thumbnails like that, apparently. And other thumbnails, of course, it's like I saw another one. Some guy, I believe, in front of a big castle, and I think it was about castles in 1200s. And it was one of these fairy tale castles with big, tall, straight walls and towers. Now, at least in Europe, I won't talk about Asia because that's a big hole in my knowledge base, you could say. But in Northern Europe, 1200s, while they did have stone castles, although that was not the norm, they didn't look like that because they couldn't. Well, it would take decades to shape that many blocks of stones and pile them up on top of each other and build things like that. They didn't look like that. But these so-called video creators, they don't care because they get a nice AI generated background and that's their thumbnail. You know, it's just ridiculous. So, you know, that's what I'm up against. I can't do that. I won't do that. But what I will do in an attempt to bring as much authenticity as possible, is I will put on my Viking clothes. They are as historically correct as I can manage, and I should have handmade them. I haven't, but other people have made them, and it's anyone who knows, well, who are into the details about the Viking Age will be able to point at details there, and they are historically correct. Even the ribbons are historically correct. Um, one of my these ribbons, well, the one on my yellow tunic is from Kaupangen across the fjord here at the time when my main character lived. So yeah, I know that's a bit nerdy, but I care about these things. So that's how it is now, and that's why I'm saying YouTube is such a joke now. It's just a joke, and YouTube, I believe, is being run by children, and it's being run by uneducated. Well, they might have an education in um, in I don't know, computer science, something like that. I don't know, but it seems like they are very immature. They don't care about integrity. And when these YouTube gurus talk about a good YouTube video, it's not good. It's not quality. It's not quality, is it? A good thumbnail? Stop saying good. It's not good, is it? It's not good. It's just clickbaity. And I opened up this chat to anyone just to see if we can get someone here to give us some examples of the ignorance and stupidity that seems to be spreading like an epidemic among the populations now. We'll see. I'll have a look in a minute. But when you listen to these people in YouTube talking, I'm not hopeful. I'm not hopeful. They are also not honest in what they're saying. That's why I don't really care so much about what they're saying, but their job is to put as many ads as possible in front of you. That's their job. And that's what they're doing. Okay, so I will tell you this. It's probably a bit early, but I'll share this with you. I really, really want a PhD in history. I don't have a PhD in history, but I have been looking at options. I've been looking at what. Well, obviously, PhD that's 2 years of research. You being a researcher, that. But I think these things go hand in hand with the research I am doing for my writing. So I was thinking, I'll piece together a bachelor's degree in history from the subjects that I've already had in university. And that's a long time ago, but I'm in communication with a Norwegian university about that now, to get me to the master's as soon as possible. It might take a few years. Obviously it will, but that's like, I know it's an old man thing to do, but I really, really want to do that. And I'm this is difficult to explain, but studying feels like home to me. It's like it's a safe. It's what they call a safe space. Yeah, I have kind of decided to do that now, and I'm inspired by my daughter, who also wants to do a PhD. But that will be not, well, she's in biology, so and that. I think on a subconscious level, I was looking for a goal, a target, something to strive for, other than YouTube. I must be honest with you. My main channel, I had a hope that it would reach 1 million subscribers. I have abandoned that hope now, because the culture has shifted. People are not really subscribing anymore. That's because of the that's because of the way everything is set up. It's all algorithm based, and I will tell you that, as I can't say that I'm a historian yet, because I don't have a degree in history, but I would like to say that. And in the future, when I hopefully can say that I'm a historian, I will then say that historians in the future will look at our culture and this time and the shift from social media being subscription based to algorithm based. That was a very important shift, and it was not good or healthy for us, because now the algorithms are used to decide what you are watching. That's why they're hiding the channels on YouTube that you would like to see. I'm having such a big problem finding good channels now, and I really, really search for them. But the ones I've found, many of them, I see that I look at their channel page and I can see that they stopped. They quit. And Rumble is not better, in my opinion. I see a comment about that, because maybe you don't know, but Rumble will only push the channels that has given them ownership to the videos. Now, YouTube doesn't own my videos. That's in the terms of in the agreement. And I would never let a platform own my videos. But if you want Rumble to push your videos, you need to have Rumble own your videos, and I think that's well, not going to happen. So yeah, so historians in the future will look at that shift from social media being subscription based to algorithm based as a shift that meant that now these big corporations are influencing your thoughts and your feelings much more than they could before. Um, yeah. Wow, that's and is that Nero? Is that wow? That's like immense. Thank you, thank you. My eyes, are they lying now? $100? Wow. Um, what can I say? You are helping my presence on YouTube a lot. Thank you. That is very, very kind of you. And the whole community here is thanking you. Wow. That's like the double of what I make from the ads on a normal video on my other channel, my main channel. Um, wow. Thank you. Um, yeah, okay. Now, is there hope? I think Nero showed us that there is hope, um, and that there are good people out there. I think what I was going to say, and is that we are seeing a reaction against all the AI slop, all the nonsensical, stupid stuff on YouTube, all the corporate owned, dishonest channels. We are seeing a reaction, and I'm seeing these channels popping up now. Just some guy or girl sitting there or walking, just talking, and they're making unedited videos. On the main channel, I will keep doing the Viking videos. It's my passion. And I hope that people will keep watching them. But this channel here, I think that I will give it a try to make videos, not only these live streams, but also if I feel like talking about something, I'll pick up my GoPro camera, I'll go for a walk and talk to the camera. It will be unedited, unfiltered, as they say, my unfiltered opinion. It won't be perfect, but I think that's part of the whole thing, right? And it's and I'm seeing some of these channels not taking off, but they're getting at least views in the thousands. And I think that's a reaction. People want authentic content. It's always been like that. It's just that YouTube doesn't understand what authentic is. And I'll give you an example of that. YouTube are saying, oh, they are actually saying that, we need authentic content. We want authentic content, authentic creators. What they need, no, what they mean when they say that is, I'll give an example. I've seen these typically girls, and they're crying. They're sitting in their room with perfect makeup, crying for something. Life is so difficult. I guess you all realize that before they start crying, they set up their camera, their light, and then they cry. So it's that's what YouTube called by authentic. Oh, you're sharing your life. You're sharing your struggles. No, they're acting. They are acting. Because if I'm human too, and sometimes I'm sad. And if I'm sad, I'm not going to get my camera, get my light, and get all that set up, and then be sad in front of the camera. You get what I'm saying? But people think that's authentic. Oh, it's so authentic. Our life is difficult, and this video creator is just showing us her truth. That's what I like to say. Her truth, my truth, and the struggles of life in this modern world. And no, it's just acting. She's acting. And it's amazing to me that people can't see that. Um, and yeah, I think when it comes to YouTube, this year, the rest of this year will be very interesting when it comes to AI. If it continues at this pace, it could ruin the whole platform. And when I say ruin, I don't think YouTube will get out of business. Oh, Craig, thank you so much for the super chat. Is that what I call it? Super chat. Yeah. Yeah, it is super chat. I don't get them so often, so but yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, when it comes to AI, it's not going to. Here's what I predict. Okay, it's not going to ruin. Well, it's going to ruin YouTube if they continue down this path. It is going to ruin YouTube in the sense that people like myself who value making and watching authentic, real content will either leave or stop making videos, or you will not see us because you will have to go to the channel page, or you will have to go to the channel page, or the subscribed channels or whatever it's called, but to see if I've made a new video. But I'm now suspecting that even the page that only shows the videos from people you have subscribed to, you click on that thing. I'm suspecting that even there, it's not showing. A new video will not necessarily show there. I don't know this, but that's what I suspect, because people are telling me that not only have they been unsubscribed, of course, thank you, YouTube. You do that quite often. You've always done that. Isn't it funny? It's your little joke. Yeah, so funny. Being a little bit naughty, are you not? But also, they're not seeing the videos, the new videos. They can't find them. So if they continue, they will fill up the feed with AI-generated slop. I call it slop. Most people now call it slop. That's what it is. Leon says, I've been unsubscribed 3 times in the last 2 years. I'm sorry to hear that, but also I'm sorry to say that it doesn't come as a surprise. Wow, Mike says, I've been subscribed to channels that I didn't subscribe to. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Um, yeah, I am on Patreon as well, and you have my homepage. That's why I've always tried to push this website address, because I don't trust YouTube. And you will see the videos there, all my videos, except the live streams. So yeah, now so they will. I think people will get used to watching AI, and they will expect videos to look like AI videos. That will be what they crave. That will be what they want. We're not talking about us, but we're talking about other people, the majority of the population. That's what I think. I think people will want that. I think they will find it strange to watch videos that haven't been AI generated. Or not only that, but let me give another example. I my cursor was hovering above one of these historical channels. Battle. What was battle like in the medieval age? And as the person was talking, you had a scene from a battle. And I don't know if that was stolen from a movie. They often steal things from movies, and it's stealing when you do that. Or if it was AI generated. But whatever it was, and I know a little bit about battles in the early medieval age, and it didn't look like that. It didn't look like knights on horseback in shining armor in the mist and the fog, waving their long swords. Sorry, it didn't look like that. It was dirty and muddy and cruel and bloody, and people were screaming. And well, we can go into the specifics, of course, but the idea that the knights in shining armor were there at the front of the battle, it's not true. I do not believe that. You had the peasants and your soldiers in front, and they did the dirty work. But anyway, videos like that, they rewrite the past. They are making people believe things about the past that is not true. And that's a big problem with AI, you know. And it's laziness, it's intellectual laziness, uh, and they do that just to make it look better on the video, And again, it's just some guy sitting in the room like I do now, talking, following a script. I don't follow scripts, but that's what it is. But that's too boring. So they use an AI generated video. But that's the problem, right? Because if you do that, it's not the truth. It is not the truth. It's not your truth. It's not my truth. It's just a lie. It didn't look like that. We know quite a bit about how it looked because we have the records. We have the archaeological finds. And also, if we look at what's going on in Ukraine now, that's war. It's just horrible. But okay. My viewing time, 07. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you. Okay, enough ranting now. Let me scroll up a little bit here. Yeah. Okay. Wendy. Yeah. The do-it-yourself DIY channels are getting impossible. The smiling AI woman painting perfect stripes in the bathroom and pulling the tape through the towel bars. Yeah. I guess, how to, instructional videos. That's like, that niche is dead. That was the first niche that AI killed. Yeah. And that's a shame because, many people go to YouTube if they have a question. Underachiever says YouTube CEOs and other chairmen are always so clueless about their product. Man, it's hilarious. Yeah, I agree. If you listen to these people, yeah, and also people don't realize this. Maybe I'm an old cynic, but people don't realize the following: the CEO of YouTube, or CEOs, their job is to increase the value of the company for the owners, the shareholders. That's their job. So they will skew the truth a little bit. Um, let's see. Craig, thank you so much again. Coffee from Canada. And yeah, Ian, if you're really upset, the last thing you do is film yourself. Yeah. Julie, perfect commenter. I get pop-up YouTube ads that ask what I would like to see. I finally responded and said, how about more of the channels I subscribe to? Yes, I agree. Andrew Tier says, YouTube will die with so many bots and scams, not to mention the AI slop. Yeah. Yeah, Angela, yes, that's true. The links to my other channels are in the video description. Checking for your new subscriber videos under the bell icon is a better way to avoid AI than the ones on your homepage. But you must ask for notifications when you subscribe. Yes, absolutely. You must do that. Ian says they've been burying Bjorn on my main page in the past few months. I don't see your videos anymore. Yeah, I made a video on the main channel on Saturday. It was out on Saturday, about Viking Age feats of strength. And it's underperforming massively. So it's like, and you can tell because it never took off. And I don't know what's wrong with that channel. No, that video. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But yeah. Andrew Cheer says creators complain about the same issues over and over, and they do nothing about it. Yeah. Charlie says I never get alerts. Creative by Nature Studio says, are you leaving YouTube, Bjorn? I don't think so. But YouTube might leave me in. I mean, now it looks like they're just hiding my content. You know. So okay. Yeah, and live streams. They don't notify people about my live streams. I know. If I didn't say so already, my viewing time 07. Thank you for the donation. Now, one thing I will say is you have the midterms in the USA in a well 1 year and a few months from now. Leading up to that, pay notice to the activity on these political channels, because I think that you will be seeing them going in just aiding the campaign, the political campaign. And in the USA, you have two, well, you might have three political campaigns because of Elon Musk's political party, but I don't know. But it will be interesting. Let's see here. Yeah, I won't comment on the Outdoor Boys. I already did it. I know a lot of you like that channel, but it's suspicious. That's all I will say. Because things like that, old channels, they normally don't really just suddenly take off like that. But I don't know. I don't know. Oh yeah, no trucks given. What is the worst thing about AI, do you think? I think it's the energy consumption. Yeah, the good point. I didn't even mention that. So yeah, AI is it's funny how these governments, these politicians, they love AI. Oh, they think that, AI is the best thing ever. Of course they think that. Of course, it's the surveillance of the population will be run by AI. It probably already is, and it's going to be fantastic for those people. And yeah, and at the same time, they're telling you, oh, you have to sort your waste, like plastics go there, paper go there, and fold your milk. We don't have milk bottles. Milk, what do you call them? The containers for milk. You have to fold them, and yeah, at the for the environment, and don't drive a car. At the same time, they're allowing these AI server facilities pop up, and they use an immense amount of power. Cartons, yes, thank you. If I've discovered anyone stealing my content lately, not lately. Now YouTube has kind of stopped letting me know when they do that, because I think YouTube doesn't care. And my opinion is that if you make a reaction video, I said this before, the income from that video should go to the original creator. Because let's face it, these reaction channels, they just, it's just a way to make money off of other people's creative work. And if someone puts their stupid little face in the corner of the screen and they let my video play, that's not going to be picked up by YouTube. Or, well, it probably is, but it's not. I'm not going to get a notification. So yeah, I had a lot of that happening. And of course, they upload my videos to TikTok and shit like that. Because they steal and they want to make money off of my work. That's what they do, these people. It is, I think, who was it? a black woman. I think I'm not watching her channel, but I think she is doing some like relationship advice and something like that. Big channel, and people are just stealing her images to rip her off, to make money off of her YouTube presence. So that is the main reason why people stop making videos. And when I shifted on the main channel to only Viking videos, you do realize that one of the main reasons was that my other content was being stolen all the time. And my Viking videos are not, I believe, that tempting to these people to steal. That's my impression. Maybe because they don't get the same reach. I'm so tempted to talk about the Outdoor Boys, and I think you all got it wrong. But I can't because I don't have proof. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Leon, when people steal, they very often make more money than you. I've seen that happen to my videos. And that's because they will write clickbaity titles, make clickbaity thumbnail. Yeah. And I'm not going, I mean, if that's a way to kill a channel, that I'm not going to sit here and sit here. I'm sitting here now. But it takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of time, and what takes the most time is all the videos that I decide not to make because I do not have the proper research done for the video. Oh, Jessica Oz, yes, I think that is her name. Yeah. Now, and then you have some fucking idiot sitting there, like in the corner, of like filming himself watching the video that you spent a month making. It's just, I don't think any other part of society where creative work is allowed to be used like that. As I said before, if you are going to use other people's writing in your book, you have to pay them for that. The same with music. Hi, Carola. I am seeing a comment. Yes, good to see you. So, where was I? Yeah, what happened to my eye? It's yeah, I talked about it. Yeah, I fell on the taking my morning bath. Yeah, if you want to know what happened there, it's on Patreon, and also I talk a little bit about it in the video on the main channel that I uploaded on Saturday. Black Vikings. That's interesting, actually, and yeah, that's a good idea. I forgot about that. It's not as simple as people think. No, the Vikings were not black, but the whole concept is it comes from a place, and so I'll make a video about that. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, this thing here will leave a scar, and I was surprised when I took the doctor put this on. Not this, but the strips. They decided not to stitch it, and I think that was wise. But um, I it's going to leave quite a long scar, actually. But anyway, that's okay. I fell on the rocks. Um, so what else is there? Yeah, back to my plan about. I saw a comment. Why bother getting a PhD? Now I can't guarantee that I'm getting a PhD because that takes a lot of work. Obviously, that's 2 years of research. Now, but I want to investigate to do that, and the masters first, of course, because I like to have these goals. I just like it, and I'm doing the research. No, I'm doing research anyway as part of my work as an historical novelist. So it's like, what if I do proper research, and you know, and do that as part of or that makes up the PhD, first the masters. I just I think it's not for everyone. I don't know yet if it's for me, but once I decide to do something, I tend to do it. It's just something I want to investigate. Wendy says, if you like to teach and research, a PhD shouldn't be too difficult. The good thing about Norway is that it's practically for free. And I did look at universities in the UK and the USA, and then I remembered, it's it's not going to be for free. So I'm going to do it in Norway, or possibly Sweden or Denmark. Craig is saying Bjorn video shut off and Kimber Bushcraft video started playing. That's odd. But at least it was Kimber Bushcraft, so I mean that's a good channel. I mean, well, he's kind of quit too. Not really quit, but he's not making so many videos anymore. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking. When's next powerlifting competition? It's in 4 weeks. And I'm not sure if I will be able to do it because I also hurt my shoulder. when I fell. Sadly, it's very annoying, but I will see tomorrow if it still hurts in my shoulder when I'm lifting. And if it still hurts tomorrow, I mean, it's getting too close to the competition, and I won't risk getting more injured, because then you get a more serious injury, and then it takes a long time to recover and so on. Yeah. Do you have a bachelor's degree? You see, I'm so old that they didn't use that system back then. But I have more um, points, is that what they call it, than a bachelor's degree. But those are in economics, and I don't know how it works now. So I'll talk with one of these advisors at the university, and this will be online. And obviously not the PhD, but that's in the future, And also, it's I'm my I can't I'm writing my books, uh, and it's like, this is just a hobby, and it's some people do this. Some people they go back to university um, in their 50s and 60s, even 70s, here in Scandinavia, as a hobby. And I think it's a wonderful thing. It keeps your mind bright and sharp, I should say, and it's great. Um, but I was listening to an audiobook about the old Sumerians, and I'm not that interested in the Sumerians. I'm not really into that. It's it's I don't know. It's I'm quite specific about this, but yeah. Yeah, sorry. uh, let's see. Yeah. My viewing time says I'm 38 and went back to school at 36. Yeah, great. Yeah, YouTube again, it's when I upload a video now, I expect it to perform poorly, because most of them do. And I know some people are just taking off on YouTube. I'm not doing that. And it's just a proof that you can have a big channel and still not get the views. And maybe it's my videos. I doubt it, though. I think it has a lot to do with my thumbnails. It's difficult to make thumbnails that can compete with AI thumbnails, because people don't care about authenticity. They are like little children who are attracted to bright colors and shiny things. That's how YouTube works. I will probably put some yellow arrows there, some yellow words, big letters. I have to do something to make my thumbnails kind of stand out. Again, not talking about this channel, because I don't care about, I do care, but I've given up on this channel. But it's like, I can't make I, I can't make a Viking village for a thumbnail, and I refuse to use AI generated images. Yeah, Angela, you don't have a goofy face on your thumbnail. Stick out your tongue on the next one. Well, um, I will also not do the goofy face. I mean, I would not be comfortable with that. Well, thank you, Leon, for saying that. But yeah, we will see what happens. There's a slight, yeah. Hold on. Oh, no. Okay, I think Dusty, that was your message, but you retracted it, so I won't read it then. I remember it. Oh, yes, Dusty. There it is. Don't do the goofy face. Men must keep their dignity. I agree. I agree. I will do a funny face with when I'm with little kids, and but I'm not going to do it to attract viewers. Also, it will give the wrong impression because it's not that kind of content. Carlos says, I understand your stance against AI, but what if another creator takes your niche from you because they did? Well, let them take it then. The most important thing is integrity. Integrity is more important than views. And if I sell my integrity for views, what am I? Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, of course, I use the tags. I don't think the tags are used by YouTube anymore, but you know, yeah, I'm not going to do the soy face either, Angela. They call it soy face, when you stare with your mouth open. That kind of expression. Brittany, thank you. Oh, Paddy is here. Okay. Paddy is our friendly troll. Yeah. Ian says integrity means nothing to young people these days. Yeah, isn't that is interesting. So here's what I have noticed. Okay. And I will be connecting the dots now, okay? Between the following. When you see training videos, fitness, they call it, most of these guys, these influencers, are on steroids. The women have been operated on, many of them, and they're also on steroids. And they have lip fillers and they use these filters and stuff. That has nothing to do with being fit. It has nothing to do with health, but that's what sells. And they know that. So that's why they do it. They sell their integrity, the little that they had to start with, for the views. AI is stealing. It's AI is built on stolen material. My books were stolen by Meta, like the books of many other people, and probably stolen by these other main AI models too. So I will obviously then not use AI because they stole my books. And this should not be difficult to understand. And are you using AI? If you use AI, you are helping companies that stole my books. So for that reason, I don't think you should be using AI. This should also be very easy to understand. Now you might say that some people might see this and they might think, I don't care about this guy. I don't care about his books. I don't care about AI stealing his books, and so on and so on. But I care. So that's why I'm not going to use AI. Now I'm saying that I'm on Google, YouTube being part of Google, and AI is everywhere. So in that sense, you could say that, oh, you are helping AI. You're feeding the AI as you're talking here now, because the AI, YouTube AI, is listening probably. Um, but the use of AI, is the same as using steroids. It's a quick fix. It's cheating. It's an easier way to get a result, but you're not getting the training. You're not maturing as you journey towards your goal. This goes hand in hand with what I mentioned here, with at least my aim, if I can do it on the side, as being a novelist, getting a real PhD, because it matters. It is something that not everyone has. It is not a fast way. It's not a, it's not cheating a way to a goal. And I think for me, the this PhD dream, it comes from a place of a subconscious reaction to all the people out there who are pushing out these crappy videos, AI slop videos, and they sit there and they talk about history, or whatever. They don't know what they're talking about because they're just reading an AI generated script. And they have the AI thumbnail, they have AI images playing with their voice as an voiceover. It's a reaction to that. And I don't like the way things are going, you know. So if we connect the dots here, we see that there are so many things in society now with that is just they are cheating. They are cheating their way to a goal. They don't want to do the work. And when you don't do the work, you don't get the intellectual maturity and training. Let's imagine in the future you have a robot, AI robot, that can build anything. And you need to have something built, like a porch or something added to your house. And you call the carpentry or the builder, the company, and they come, and the AI robot builds it. Would you trust the carpenter who puts the robot there to know anything about carpentry? I would not. You see what I'm saying here? Would you trust that guy reading from an AI generated script about the Viking Age to know anything about the Viking Age? I would not. So let's be real and authentic. Let's do the work. Let's choose not the easiest way, but the way the road that makes us wise as we travel. Bit of poetry there. um, um, so yeah. Paddy, it's not okay. It's just I don't know. I don't know, Paddy. It's just yeah. Okay, let's get back to the topic here. Um, Pax Disturbia is asking, can Bjorn get his books back? Why weren't they copyrighted? Of course, all my books in all the languages are copyrighted. That's why I say they steal them. Didn't you know? Meta, they just stole a bunch of books, like thousands of books. They just stole them. They pirated them to train their AI model. And they didn't care, they don't care if they are copyrighted. Of course, my books are copyrighted. No, it's not like my books are. You can download my books from Meta's AI, but they use them to train their language model there. And by the way, the copywriting thing is for me a reason not to self-publish, because if you self-publish now, either you must be okay with people just downloading and stealing your books, or you must fight it. Like, it becomes a full-time job almost. And I can't do that. That's the publisher's job. Yeah. Now that we are on a rant here, we also have to talk about, just to finish the live stream, what has happened in the UK. I'm sure you know that there is no, in the UK now, there is no, anonymity anymore on the internet. And then one of the first things they did was to censor a protest against, was it migrants or something? And this is what they say is that we need to strike down on pornography to protect kids and so on. And how can you disagree with that? We need to protect the kids and all that. Of course we do. Yeah. I Of course, how can you disagree? But of course, if you apply some critical thinking, you understand that it's not about protecting the kids, it's about censorship. And yes, Aniwaya's song, it's 1984. Absolutely, that's what we are seeing now. And the UK will be used as a model by the US government. It's coming very soon to the United States of America. Of course, you have all the tools in place there now, with a president in bed with the AI, the big names in AI. So I think it's coming to the USA very, very soon. Would it have been different with another president? If the Democrats had won? No, not at all. It's just the way. It's too tempting to these people. It's too tempting. So yeah, I think it will happen very fast. very fast in a matter of days. Maybe it's happening already, days, months, very fast within the year. Within the year, the EU will follow. Norway, as always, will just do as the EU is doing, more or less. So, yeah. My books are not in English as per now. We will have a very serious meeting, me and my agent, in a couple of weeks, I believe, about this. It needs to happen now. So, yeah. I think at this point it's very important to realize that it doesn't matter if left or right. Left or right doesn't matter when it comes to this. We actually have more serious issues than your political affiliation to deal with now. These people are hungry for power, and they want to maintain the power, and they all love AI, and they all love surveillance. They don't care about your privacy. They don't care about you. So the big lie and the big deception here is this idea that, oh, just vote for the other party, the other people, and it will be better. No, it won't. It won't. So, I mean, I was wrong about Trump. I will absolutely admit that. And maybe I was naive. I should have seen this coming. I should have seen this coming. I didn't. The rise of AI and all of that, I should have seen it, but no. But I think that what the real fight now is personal liberty versus governmental control. And while I know in the USA, the Republicans, they say that they care about personal liberty, I don't think they do. I think that's something that they know that people want to hear, and they will throw them, oh, you have the Second Amendment, go and carry your gun around. You see, you have liberty, you can carry your gun, you have your gun. Isn't that liberty? It's just a lie, and it's just a lie. And people need to realize this now, and of course we need some rules and regulations in society. As I said, we can't leave it up to people to not be drunk when they drive their car and so on. So we need to realize that left or right doesn't matter so much anymore. And yeah, I said it already. Yeah. Now, a Space Monkey, I would say democracy is a system. It's not an ideology. It's a way to. Well, the definition is that it's a method to choose and find the people to be put in power for a given period of time. Okay. Yeah. I think at this point, if you are still on board with the Trump administration, I think it's a little bit strange. I find that a bit strange because when they go out and they say there is no client list, as it's been mentioned here in the comments in the chat, there is no client list. Well, maybe there isn't a list that says client list and list of names, but obviously there was like a a group of people that were clients to Epstein. I don't know how to pronounce it. And I think that when they say like I can't remember what Trump said, but exactly, but something along the line. Why are you still along the lines, and why are you still talking about that creep or something like that? Don't it's and they just want the whole thing to go away. Then you can't trust those people. Obviously not. You can't trust those people. They were all the same group of. They were going to parties together. Republicans, Democrats, movie stars, all a bunch of fucking bastards. And Trump was there, and who else? Well, yeah, many of these people. It's like I've said this before, and I think if you're very naive and you get invited to that island once, and you go there, and then you see what's going on, you would understand what was going on. You would leave, and you would never go back, and you would tell people about what happened there. So if you go back a second time, we have a problem. I have a problem with people who went back the second time. Okay. And I think what it boils down to is that those people who went back a second time and many more times and kept this Epstein criminal, this horrible person in their social circle, so to speak, those people, the thing that is wrong with those people is that they fail to see other people, like these very young girls, as people. They see them as objects. They, for some reason, have stopped to view these girls as other human beings, fellow human beings. And I don't think anyone who have stopped viewing other people as people, I don't think anyone like that should have any power or any influence of anything. In fact, I think that they should all be in jail. Now, I'm a father. I have a daughter. And it's like now this is YouTube, of course, so I will be careful, but if anyone had even looked at my daughter like, I've seen a clip with Epstein and Trump, and Trump is being very cool and dancing a little bit, and they're pointing at someone, and you can see that they're talking about, so they're looking at someone, they're standing there. Have you seen that clip? If anyone had looked at my daughter like that, there's like a big axe on the wall behind me. You can't see it because of the sleeping bags. You can connect the dots there. You know, I would have been so furious that, I'm biting my tongue here because I can't really say what I would have done. These people should not be in power of and or in control of anything. That's my opinion. You had, of course, Biden, who were touchy feeling with the little girls. How can people vote for someone like that? It's just disgusting, you know. Fucking hell. One pervert out, another one in. So, let's see here. Yeah, it's no, I don't expect people to be angels. I don't expect, you don't have to be perfect. And like this, these presidential candidates, they don't have to be perfect, but they shouldn't be evil, right? They shouldn't be sleeping with prostitutes, or no, sleeping with women who have been forced into prostitution. Let's be real about this. Because I think that's a very bad and horrible thing to do. And I hope we all agree on that. Yeah. And again, you don't have to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We make mistakes and we do things that we know we shouldn't do sometimes. But we should never do things that we shouldn't. There's a difference between, making the wrong choice in life, and continuously um, praying on, not praying to the God in the skies, praying like the birds of prey, preying on other people. And by the way, these people very often, I have noticed, they do pray. um, yeah, they are so on board with the Jesus thing and all that. Isn't it funny how that works? So yeah. How is it that I, being a dirty heathen, I go to hell, but someone who's been taking advantage of women from poor countries, maybe, been violent against women and so on, even, but if they pray to Jesus, they go to heaven. How does that work? How does that work? I think it's a strange concept, but of course it's a concept that is easy to sell to bad people. Uh, so yeah, radioactive oven. Yeah, I know. Trump, he has a spiritual advisor. It's this woman, isn't it? The batshit crazy woman. Um, who's, I can't remember her name, but yeah, yes, yeah. Um, when this seems that the victims were paid fairly well. No, no, they were not. I think that's a very. I'm sorry, but no, that's the one you hear. That's the ones you hear about. The ones that are just stolen from the street, basically put in a room, raped for 2 weeks, and given drugs to make them addicts, and then shipped over the sea to the USA or to some place in Europe or in the Middle East. Those you don't hear so much about. You don't hear so much about those. They are like the nobodies, and that's the sad reality of the world. You know. Yeah, radioactive oven. I can't read that, but yes, that's what it seems like. Yeah, isn't it like this Epstein devil? We're talking hundreds of thousands of young women that he trafficked. Um, and I don't think that there should be any death penalty. You know this if you have been following me here, because I don't think any state should have that, or any government should have that much power. But I mean, these sex traffickers, they should be put in a prison cell, and you need to throw away the key, because they should never be allowed to get out. um, so yeah, I think yeah, not enough prison cells. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But it's Wendy, isn't this ironic? You've used Google AI. Sorry, I'm not trying to be horrible to you, but we have been talking about AI here. And of course, I mean, so my question to you, so the Google AI is saying that he paid the girls hundreds of dollars in cash for each encounter, and sometimes paid extra if they brought new girls into the scheme. So, um, do you think that Google AI is neutral or truthful? Or do you think that someone, maybe people who are involved in the ownership of Alphabet, which owns Google, do you think that they have an interest in in having the AI tell you something that benefits them? I mean, I would I would think that I would think that if you control the AI, you would make it so that it benefits you. Another question: do you think that governments pay Google or the people owning Google to have the AI benefit them? I think they do. Um, in other words, don't use AI. It's not going to give you the truth, is it? It's not going to give you the truth. It's a big fucking scam. it's it's like this should be so obvious. It's do you remember, sorry, do you remember back in the day when some of us we complained about Google being I think we complained about Google being like would only show negative things about Trump and positive things about the Democrats. Do you remember that? I remember. And it did. That was how it was back then. Do you think that Google's AI is any different? I'll just read the comment here from Syl. Is that French? Giroard. Sorry if I mispronounced it. You're saying they use AI for their propaganda. Of course. Um, yeah. Bill Gates was on the island too. Yeah. And Anivaya's song says AI is going to give us whatever they want us to know, believe, period. Yes, exactly. Um, okay. Hell yeah says if you think Epstein, Trump, Bill Gates, and Clinton all went to an island with a SEX temple, you haven't involved enough yet. Pick up on when you are being fed a fairy tale, my friend. I am sorry to say so, hell yeah, but it's not a fairy tale. It's not a fairy tale. There are some really bad people out there. Some really bad people out there. And I mean, these, well, we call them elites because they move above the law. I mean, we see them in all countries. We have one here. You know, it's a fucking bastard. It's the son of the woman who will be queen when the king dies, or I don't know how it works, but he's married to the prince. No, she is married to the prince, and her son from before is a criminal. He's a rapist, and he likes to what's his name? Marius. And he likes to film women who have passed out by the drugs that they're taking and so on. He's a fucking bastard. And I've said this before, when the police finally figured out that, oh, maybe we should do something about his activities. And they called the castle, no, the where the king and his family lives, and they said, we will be traveling to your estate very soon to pick up Marius Høiby because he's been a bad boy. What did his mother, which is the queen to be, the future queen, do? She tidied up his apartment, which his apartment was really a little house there, not a little house. It was he. Of course, he has his own house on the estate. She cleaned up his and tidied things so that it was presentable. How often do you think that the queen to be gets out the vacuum cleaner to clean a house? How often do you think the I think she must be the princess married to the prince? How often do you think that happens? How often do you think that happens? I think like never. And any other person would have been uh, charged with an attempt to hide evidence. You get what I'm saying here? She was hiding the evidence, and no consequences. No consequences. So, this is just another example of how these people, we call them elites, not because they're so bright, but because they move above the law, how they move above the law. If if I'm one day late paying my taxes, which are fucking ridiculously high here in Norway, they threaten me with, like, they send this letter with, what do you call it? Well, they threaten taking my stuff, coming here and taking my stuff. And once I had paid like 30 kroner, which is like $3 below. I don't know how that happened, but it was like it was 30 kroner or $3 missing, and they sent me a letter that, threatening to come here and seize my property, because I'm not an elite. I'm just a normal person, you know, confiscated. Yeah. So I mean, come on. You think that these people care about the law? You think that these people care about other people? I think that they have learned from early age that they are above the law. Bob is being very funny. Give your book to AI, let it translate it to English. Yeah, that would be a crappy translation. Yeah. So, yeah, in the UK, you have Prince Andrew, Randy Andy. Yeah. But he's been pardoned now because there is no client list. Nobody did anything wrong. Why is this Ghislaine Maxwell in prison then? It's funny how that works. It's all a scam. It's all a scam. It's like the COVID vaccine. I don't fucking care anymore. It was a big scam. This is a scam. It's another scam. And some of us, we can see this clearly. We can see this clearly, and it's yeah. You know what? I think AI is a scam too, and I don't think that AI is really that bright. I think it's still it will develop, but I think it's still just glorified copying. So yeah. Well, Stony Run says if Democrats had anything on Trump regarding Epstein list, they would have used it. That's an interesting thought. I think that it's more complicated than that. I think that the Democrats do have something on Trump concerning Epstein. But they knew that Trump had something on them as well. That's why they haven't done. That's why they didn't do anything about it. That's why Trump wants the whole thing to go away. Because they were all there, big happy family, right? So yeah, Sil says, I disagree, Stoney. Both parties are compromised. I think you're correct. And I think in politics, it's like these people work together across the division between the parties. I don't think that the there is such a division between the parties. I think they're more like colleagues than anything else when you're at that level in politics. Yeah. So, okay. Creative by Nature Studio says, I will not use AI at all. Anyone who is, I have distanced myself from. Anyone who cannot see the end of humanity coming are morons. Yeah, that's absolutely, it could go that way. It could go that way. Just to finish off this live stream here, I talked about doing, as a hobby on the side, moving on with education, getting a master's, maybe getting a PhD in history. And up onto including masters, I saw some information about that. Students are now using AI, and it's getting very difficult to catch them using AI. And I think that we are now seeing the first students with a master's degree who have used AI to a very large percentage, so to speak, of their written work have been AI generated. So we have master's degree students who haven't gone through the maturing process. They haven't done the work. Basically, you will have master's students being fucking idiots. They can't do anything they can't do anything without using AI. Obviously, this is a problem, and they need to step up. The universities need to step up and put an end to this. But here's the thing, I am not sure if they want to. I'm not convinced that they want to. And if they don't want to stop that, then we have a problem, because you are then just shutting off the power, the brain power. Yeah, so hi there, Carl. Yeah, I'm ending the live stream now. I've been talking for almost 2 hours. Yeah, you're saying that your prediction is that the dumbing down of the people really will accelerate now. I think you are right. You know what? I'm so glad that my kids got through at least, the most of their education before AI became an issue. I certainly, obviously, shouldn't come as a surprise, will not use AI at all for anything. Well, again, so I won't use AI in my videos, in my thumbnail, obviously not in my writing as a novelist, obviously not in my research and studies. But I can't. The things I can't do anything about, like there's probably some AI involved in how YouTube is now using AI to hide my videos. They just hid them before, like automatic. Now it's AI hiding them. So yeah, thank you, YouTube. Um, so yeah, good question from Wendy. You don't use search engines. I use search engines, and it pops up the AI. I will say that try not to use Google when you do searches. Google is not a good search engine. Okay, and you can find neutral search engines. You can do that. Okay. Yes, that's all for now. I hope you have a good day, and yeah, might be doing some walk and talk videos here on this channel. You know, might do that as well in the future. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. Wonderful. Bye bye.